What we're talking about now is, I think, this constant attack on Meghan Markle, is that there's this idea of what a royal princess should be, which is a British white aristocrat. Let's just be honest about it. And I think a lot of the attacks on Meghan Markle are pretty racist. You know, she's being singled out in a way that no other princess is being singled out, constantly under attack. And actually, I'll say this as well, you know, as someone who, as I've noted, I would prefer head of state, she's actually quite a big threat to people like me, because if the royal family is going to stay popular with a new generation, then they need to change, they need to modernise, they need to reflect and look a bit more like the public they represent.
Lizzie.
So actually, you know...
Can I say this, though? I think Meghan Markle wants it both ways. She's asked for privacy, and the next thing you see her at a basketball match lifting up little outfits for Archie, and then she's editing magazines. And I just think... You know, you can't have it both ways. You can't take 2.4 million of the taxpayers' money to do up their cottage.
The story of Meghan Markle and the British media isn't about public opinion. It's about a calculated campaign. From the moment she joined the royal family, negative stories were crafted and repeated until they became the dominant narrative. This wasn't a fair assessment. It was a targeted effort to undermine her. Media organisations saw an opportunity to create a villain, and Meghan was the perfect target. A biracial American woman entering Britain's oldest institution. Attacking her generated clicks, sold newspapers, and fueled debate. Every move she made was scrutinised and twisted. The goal was to ensure she never felt welcome and to turn the public against her. Positive stories were rare, negative ones constant. Small details, her clothes, how she held her husband's hand, became front-page scandals. This level of scrutiny was reserved for her alone. The media wasn't just reporting, it was building a case, shaping a narrative of a disruptive woman who didn't belong. This wasn't about accountability, it was about control. Meghan's independence threatened the media's power over the royal family. By attacking her, they sent a message: conform or be destroyed. The campaign was a warning to anyone who might challenge the established order. It was a calculated exercise in power. The evidence is clear. This was no coincidence. The British media didn't just report on Meghan, they cast her as the villain. Her confidence became arrogance, her warmth was called fake, her modern views labelled disrespectful. This was a conscious, profitable choice. Conflict sells, and Meghan became the centre of a drama the media wrote. Hostile headlines and relentless fault-finding fueled the narrative. If she wore an expensive dress, she was wasteful. If she cradled her belly, she was attention-seeking. These weren't objective reports. They were judgments designed to provoke outrage. The media gave the public permission to dislike her, listing supposed offences, real or imagined. Controversy drove clicks and sales, motivating more negativity. The truth of who Meghan was became irrelevant. What mattered was the story's profitability. By turning her into a villain, the media reasserted its power to shape public perception. Meghan's global appeal threatened that power, so they sought to diminish her influence. In the British press, you play by their rules, or become the enemy. The criticism of Meghan Markle was never about her actions. It was about her identity. As a modern, biracial woman, she didn't fit the royal mould. The media expected royal women to be quiet and compliant. Meghan was neither. Her very presence challenged outdated expectations. Race was a significant factor. Her success in a white institution made some uncomfortable. Coverage was laced with coded language and stereotypes, painting her as an outsider. Her confidence and independence were framed as threats, not strengths. Instead of celebrating her achievements, the media dismissed her as woke, or trying to overshadow others. A confident man is a leader. A confident woman of colour is labelled difficult. The backlash wasn't about her behaviour, it was about resisting change. Meghan represented a modern, inclusive vision of the monarchy that the old guard rejected. By attacking her, the media fought against progress itself. Double standards exposed the campaign against Meghan. Actions praised in other royals were condemned in her. When Kate cradled her baby bump, it was maternal. When Meghan did, it was attention-seeking. Her spending was criticised, while others was ignored or celebrated. Public affection with Harry was called unprofessional, but romantic for other couples. The rules changed to ensure Meghan was always in the wrong. These double standards weren't just unfair, they were designed for her to fail. The relentless bias was meant to isolate her and turn public opinion against her. Amid the noise, commentator Owen broke through on live TV. He called out the racism and media bias behind the attacks on Meghan, backed by years of evidence. Instead of debate, he was interrupted and dismissed, a common tactic to silence uncomfortable truths. Critics deflected, claiming it was about Meghan's personality, not race, a classic avoidance move. This protects the media from confronting its own biases. Jones's intervention forced the issue of racism into mainstream conversation, despite pushback. The aggressive response only proved his point. The system resists self-reflection on race. He voiced what many felt but rarely heard. His courage exposed the campaign for what it was: a biased, often racist attack. Speaking the truth, he revealed the media's real motives. Many thought the attacks would end when Meghan and Harry left royal duties. Instead, the hostility intensified, proving it was never about her royal role. Criticism shifted from protocol to their business deals and public statements. The same media outlets obsessed over their every move, even abroad. The attacks were structural, not situational, punishment for leaving and exposing the system. Harry broke a cycle of abuse to protect his family, seen as betrayal by the establishment. By leaving, they took away the media's power, triggering relentless revenge. The ongoing campaign shows it was always about power, race, and control. The media couldn't forgive Meghan for refusing to be silent, or Harry for choosing family over tradition. The vendetta continues, revealing the true motives behind the coverage. Meghan wasn't simply disliked. She was pushed out by a system unwilling to protect her and a media determined to destroy her. She asked only for the lies to stop and her family's safety, but was met with silence and hostility. Harry broke the cycle, choosing loyalty to his wife and son over tradition. The media can try to rewrite history, but the evidence of double standards and bias is undeniable. The difficult diva narrative is fiction, hiding the truth about power in the British media. Harry's choice was one of strength, not weakness. Meghan survived, building a new life and continuing to speak out. Her refusal to be silenced unsettles her critics most. The backlash persists because the truth persists. The campaign didn't define Meghan, it exposed the media's toxic culture. She was pushed out, but her story revealed the truth to the world, and that truth can no longer be denied.